welcome to Sleep Begins. The day is over, the night is here, and it's time to give yourself permission to rest. Settle beneath your blankets, get comfortable, and allow the noise of the day to slowly fade away. Whether you're settling into bed or simply looking for a moment of peace, you've found the perfect place to unwind. Now, let's begin. Princess Alara remembered very little about her grandmother. The memories that remained were gentle and soft, like an old painting touched by time. She remembered sitting beside a tall window while rain quietly tapped against the glass. She remembered warm hands brushing through her hair before bedtime, the comforting scent of vanilla tea, and a loving laugh that always made her feel safe. That laugh belonged to Queen Amelia. To the kingdom, Amelia had been a wise and respected queen. But to Alara, she had never been a ruler. She had simply been grandma. When Alara was only 6 years old, Queen Amelia passed away after a long illness. As the years went by, the details of those precious moments slowly faded. Yet the feeling of love and warmth her grandmother had left behind never disappeared. The people of the castle still remembered her. The royal chef often spoke about how the queen thanked everyone in the kitchens before every celebration feast. The gardeners remembered how she stopped to admire every new flower that bloomed in the castle gardens. Even the guards smiled when they shared stories about the queen who knew every one of their names. Alara loved listening to those stories, but sometimes she wondered about the woman behind the crown. Who had Queen Amelia been during the quiet moments? The moments when there were no ceremonies, no royal duties, and no people waiting for her attention. On the morning of Alara's 18th birthday, the castle awakened beneath a beautiful spring sky. Soft, golden sunlight filled the halls. Birds sang outside the tall windows, and a gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of flowers from the gardens. The grand celebration would begin later that afternoon. But Alara loved these quiet hours before the castle became busy. She walked through the familiar corridors as servants prepared for the evening banquet. Fresh flowers were placed in crystal vases, silver was polished until it shone, and everyone who passed by offered her warm birthday wishes. Without realizing it, Alara found herself walking toward her favorite place, the library. It was the quietest room in the castle. Tall shelves filled with books surrounded the walls from floor to ceiling. Comfortable chairs rested beside wide windows overlooking the green hills beyond the castle. The room carried the peaceful scent of old books, polished wood, and sunlight. Behind the desk sat Mr. Rowan, the royal librarian. When he saw her, he smiled. "Happy birthday, Princess." "Thank you, Mr. Rowan." He looked at her for a moment before speaking again. "I have been expecting you." There was something unusual in his voice. The old librarian stood and disappeared through a small doorway hidden behind the bookshelves. A few moments later, he returned carrying a carefully carved walnut box. It was not decorated with jewels or gold. Instead, delicate vines had been carved into the smooth wood, and a simple brass clasp held it closed. He placed it gently on the reading table. This belonged to Queen Amelia. Alara looked at the box in surprise. "My grandmother?" Mr. Rowan nodded. "Several weeks before she passed away, Her Majesty asked me to keep this safe. She told me that one day when you turned 18, you would be ready to receive it." Elara stared at the small wooden box. For a moment, she imagined her grandmother holding it many years ago, carefully preparing a gift for the little girl who would one day open it. With gentle hands, Elara lifted the clasp. Inside was a single journal wrapped in soft linen. The cover was emerald green, slightly faded with age. A thin satin ribbon rested between the pages, marking the beginning. Elara carefully opened it. The handwriting immediately felt familiar, elegant, warm, almost as though her grandmother was speaking directly to her. The first words read, "My sweetest Elara, if you are reading these words today, then you have reached your 18th birthday. A part of me smiles as I imagine how much you have grown since the little girl who used to fall asleep before I finished reading her bedtime stories." A gentle smile appeared on Elara's face. She remembered the window, only faintly, but she remembered. She continued reading. Many people will teach you how to become a wonderful princess. They will teach you traditions, ceremonies, and responsibilities. I know you will learn them well. But today, I wish to spend one more day with you. Not inside the grand halls of the castle, but among the quiet places that reminded me what it truly meant to love our kingdom. Elara slowly turned the page. If this morning is still your own, I hope you will follow the same path I once walked. The places may have changed, but perhaps you will discover something even more precious than my memories. Perhaps you will discover your own. Elara closed the journal for a moment. The library felt quieter than before. Outside, sunlight reflected across the courtyard fountain, and the distant sound of bells marked the beginning of a new day. She looked toward Mr. Rowan. The librarian had returned to arranging books, quietly giving her the space she needed. Elara placed the journal carefully inside her satchel. The birthday celebration could wait. For now, she wanted to follow the path her grandmother had prepared so many years ago. Instead of taking a carriage, Elara chose to walk. The castle gates opened beneath the bright spring sky, and a narrow path led her down through peaceful green meadows. Tiny white flowers moved gently in the breeze. Birds flew between old oak trees, and somewhere beyond the hills, a river whispered softly. For the first time in a long while, Elara felt completely unhurried. She did not know exactly where her grandmother's journey would lead, but she knew one thing. She was ready to discover the gift Queen Amelia had left behind. Elara followed the winding path beyond the castle walls, allowing the peaceful morning to guide her. The world felt different when she was not rushing toward a destination. The fields stretched beneath the bright spring sky, filled with wildflowers moving softly in the breeze. Birds sang from the branches of old trees, and the distant river carried a quiet melody through the hills. As she reached the village square, Elara noticed something she had somehow overlooked during all her previous visits. Everyone seemed calm. The florist smiled while arranging a bouquet of fresh flowers for a customer. An elderly man sat outside the tailor's shop with a warm cup of tea, enjoying the morning sunlight. Children laughed as they chased a bright red ball across the square. For years, Elara had passed through the village as a princess. Today, she walked through it as a person. She slowed down. She listened. She noticed. And somehow, the village felt more beautiful than ever before. Beyond the old stone bridge stood a small bakery. The moment Elara saw it, she knew it was the place her grandmother had written about. Warm bread, rested behind the windows. Golden pastries and fruit tarts filled the wooden shelves, while gentle streams of steam drifted into the air, carrying the comforting sense of butter, cinnamon, and freshly baked bread. When Alara stepped inside, a warm feeling surrounded her. Behind the counter, a cheerful baker looked up and smiled. "Good morning." "Good morning," Alara replied. "I would love whatever came out of the oven most recently." The baker laughed softly. "That is always my favorite answer." A few moments later, she returned with a warm honey roll and a cup of herbal tea. Alara sat beside the front window and looked outside. The village continued its quiet morning. She took a bite of the bread. It was simple, fresh, comforting. But soon she realized the bread itself was not what made the bakery special. It was the people. Neighbors greeted one another warmly before continuing their errands. A young father held a door open for an elderly woman carrying a basket of vegetables. The baker quietly placed an extra roll into an older gentleman's bag and smiled when he tried to pay for it. No one seemed hurried. Everyone seemed present. The room was not peaceful because it was silent. It was peaceful because kindness filled every corner. Alara opened the journal again. Her grandmother's handwriting waited for her. The heart of a kingdom is rarely found inside its palace. More often, you will discover it around an ordinary table where people share bread, stories, and kindness without expecting anything in return. Alara looked around the bakery. Now she understood. The magic of this place was not in the food. It was in the warmth people shared with one another. After finishing her tea, Alara thanked the baker and stepped back into the sunshine. Near the river, she found a quiet wooden bench overlooking the water. She sat down and opened the journal once more. The next words made her smile. "I was supposed to return to the castle after breakfast. Instead, I kept walking." Alara laughed softly. That sounded exactly like the grandmother she wished she had known. She continued reading. "Some mornings simply ask us to stay outside a little longer. Whenever life became busy, I often wandered toward the sea. I was not searching for answers. I simply enjoyed sitting where the waves reminded me that nothing beautiful ever hurried." Alara lifted her eyes toward the distant hills. Beyond them, she could see the faint shape of a white lighthouse standing beside the coastline. It seemed peaceful, almost as if it had been waiting for her. She placed the journal safely inside her satchel and continued walking. The path toward the sea curved through fields covered with spring flowers. Butterflies drifted between blossoms, bees hummed softly among lavender plants, and tall grasses swayed like gentle waves beneath the wind. As she walked, Alara began noticing things she had never paid attention to before. The songs of unfamiliar birds, the slow movement of clouds across the sky, the peaceful sound of water flowing through a small stream. She stopped beside the stream and listened. There were no responsibilities waiting, no expectations, no need to hurry, only the warmth of the sun and the quiet music of nature. She wondered how many times her grandmother had stood in this very place. Perhaps Queen Amelia had watched the same stream. Perhaps she had listened to the same birds. The thought brought Alara a comforting feeling. Although many years separated them, the beauty around her remained unchanged. It felt as though they were sharing the same peaceful morning. Eventually, the path climbed higher. The hills opened before her, and the endless blue sea appeared beneath the afternoon sunlight. The water sparkled toward the horizon, and a cool breeze carried the fresh scent of salt through the air. Standing above the cliffs was the lighthouse, simple, graceful, quietly watching over the sea. Alara smiled. At last, she understood that her grandmother's gift was not simply about visiting special places. It was about learning to truly experience them. The path became quieter as she approached the lighthouse. The sounds of the village disappeared behind her, replaced by the gentle rhythm of waves below. The white stone walls of the lighthouse stood proudly against the blue sky, shaped by countless seasons, yet still beautiful. Nearby, wooden benches faced the sea, inviting travelers to rest and enjoy the view. Alara chose the closest bench. She sat down and looked across the endless water. For the first time all day, she did nothing. She simply listened. The waves moved toward the shore and returned again, slowly, peacefully, without ever rushing. And as Alara watched the sea, she began to understand the final lesson her grandmother wanted to share. Alara sat quietly beside the lighthouse, watching the endless sea beneath the golden afternoon sun. The waves moved gently toward the shore and returned again, never rushing, never stopping. Their peaceful rhythm reminded her that every moment in life had its own time. She opened Queen Amelia's journal one final time. My dear Alara, if you have reached these pages, then we have spent one more day together. I did not send you to grand halls or royal rooms because the greatest happiness I found was not inside the palace. It was in simple places. The library, where quiet mornings began with stories. The village bakery, where kindness was shared with warm bread. And this lighthouse, where the sea taught me to slow down. Alara read the words carefully. She finally understood her grandmother's gift. It was not about learning how to become a perfect princess. It was about learning how to become a kind person. Titles may earn respect, the journal continued, but kindness earns love. People may forget your speeches and celebrations, but they will always remember how you made them feel. Alara looked across the sea and smiled. Her grandmother's memories had not disappeared. They lived in every kind action, every peaceful moment, and every person whose life had been touched by her warmth. As the sun began to set, Alara started her journey home. The fields looked familiar, yet somehow different. She noticed the gentle stream, the evening birds, and the quiet beauty she had once passed without seeing. She realized that this was the lesson Queen Amelia wanted to share. Life was not about searching for extraordinary moments. It was about noticing the beautiful ones already around us. When Alara returned to the village, warm lights glowed from the bakery windows, and neighbors shared peaceful evening greetings. Soon, the castle appeared beyond the hills, shining beneath the first stars. The birthday celebration continued inside, but before joining everyone, Alara touched the journal resting safely in her satchel. This was the greatest gift her grandmother could have given her. Not a treasure of gold, not a royal secret, but a reminder to slow down, listen, and live with kindness. Later that night, after the celebration ended, Alara placed the journal beside her window. Outside, the kingdom rested beneath the quiet moonlight. The river flowed gently. The lighthouse watched over the distant sea, and the stars shimmered above the sleeping world. With a peaceful smile, Princess Alara closed her eyes. She knew her grandmother's love would always remain with her, in every kind word, every gentle moment, and every beautiful ordinary day. And wrapped in those comforting memories, Alara drifted peacefully into sleep.